right now I'm going to go through the all-22 and what I saw. And on this one, I owe some apologies. I actually owe an apology to
man.
Yeah,
look at you.
I owe an apology.
Proud of you right
I owe
now.
an apology to a guy. I buried Josh Ball.
I did as well.
Quite a bit. Josh Ball, I felt like that he wasn't strong enough. He, when you watched him play, I didn't know how important it really was to him. There were times where you watch him play, he gets driven back. Guys go by him and all that. Well, this was a going against the Seattle Ones, inside that's a pretty good group, and have to deal with the linebackers and stuff. Josh Ball played one of his best games, and again, he doesn't get many opportunities. It's only really in the preseason but I just, like I said, I completely just bury him, but he showed something. I don't know what came on. I don't know what flipped for him. Like I say, I was thinking, okay, he's not one of the 9 or 10 they're going to keep. But when you play like that, like he played with his ability, when they were running the ball and having some combo blocks, he did a nice job with the combo blocks to the center. Him and Willetsko did some good jobs with passing stunts. There was a couple of times where they get a little, Willetsko gets kind of knocked out of whack the way he plays. But Josh Ball was there to pick up the pieces for him a couple of different times. One of the best efforts that he has given in a game, in a preseason game. So it gives me a little hope, when they're starting to, now let's see against the Raiders this week. He's going to get another opportunity. But he is just not a complete throwaway like I was saying he should have been. So
I think he got stronger, too. Is there any way we can confirm that? I mean, coming in, he was kind of doughy and dad body, and he was lean in the wrong spots.
Yeah, there were times when you watch him and the balance is bad. It's like I kind of describe it as like when you get caught in a revolving door and you can't get out and you're just kind of stuck. And
I hate when that happens.
You're kind of, and that's sometimes he plays like that. Yeah. But in this game, he didn't give up pressure. He was aware. He got the second-level blocks. They ran the ball behind him a couple of times.
They just don't have a lot of big, strong guys
that
are
just
available
don't.
there.
That's the whole thing with the Doga was supposed to be that veteran guy come in and let's be. But he hasn't done a good enough job as well. That's a little problem. But owe him a little bit of an apology there. I will say this is another nice game for T.J. Bass, at guard. Now, T.J. Bass is a guy that we talked about last week. Doesn't look good in practice. Doesn't always have balance. Doesn't always play with power. Doesn't in the game. He's a guy that I call these blockers when they get the way he plays. He's not going to extend on you. Kind of a belly-to-belly blocker. He gets tight. He tries to hold. His base has been good. The last 2 weeks, he's shown that, okay, I get why they're maybe letting him fight in a little bit higher weight class because he's showing that he could play the position. I think Matt Farniak is a better center than he is a guard.
I think you're right on that. I agree with that 100%. And I've got T.J. Bass still ahead of Josh Ball for me.
Yeah, as far as if you had
overall,
to,
if you had to play,
I'd
like to play T.J. Bass. He's shown it now in back-to-back games.
Yeah,
Josh Ball's been here 2 years. Just the first good game he's ever had.
Bass sounds like a guy who's not overwhelmed by the girth and tonnage of these NFL defensive tackles.
No, I think
he can handle
he's
it.
the one.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Do you still want to trade for a veteran despite both these guys playing?
Yes,
Brian?
yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I want that veteran guy to be the sixth guy, and then I want Bass, Farniak, and potentially Ball to be the guys behind the good veteran player. That's what I would like to envision. The wide receivers, I'm going to say this: I think Jalen Tolbert is going to fight. I think he's going to fight Michael Gallup for that third spot.
What?
Look at this, man.
Come on.
Yeah. I think he's going to fight.
Are you saying something about Michael Gallup right now, or are you saying something about Jalen Tolbert?
I think that Jalen Tolbert is starting to – Jalen Tolbert clearly is your 4.
Yes.
But it's not – I don't see him just being stuck at 4. I think Michael Gallup – and Michael Gallup said it to us in an interview.
He did.
When we interviewed, he says, hey, you watch that 1-8.
Sure did.
That 1-8 is coming for my job. And so he made the prediction himself, But I'll say this about Jalen Tolbert. He solidified himself as a 4. I think he's trying to get to 3.
Yeah, I think it's more about Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah. Nice to see Jalen Brooks bounce back after kind of having his struggles with the way that he played against Jacksonville. So, and another thing, final thing on the running backs situation. Mm-hmm. It was strange, and Zach, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when it came down to where Malik Davis had to pass block or a third down,
they shoved him out.
They shipped him out and brought in Rico Dowdle to be that guy.
Yep.
So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that.
What'd you think of Rico there, though?
Rico running
he did a pretty good job.
He did a pretty good job. The whole thing was that punt block was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster.
Ryan was so upset.
Well,
rightly so.
You can't.
All 3 phases, man.
You can't give that one up. But there's a side of me now that, like, will they keep 4 backs? Will they keep 4 backs? And I'm not including Hunter Limpke in that 4 group.
You calling him
like
Limpke now?
Squad guy.
Hunter Limpke.
Are we calling him Limpke?
Hunter
I think
Limpke.
we should call him Limpke now.
I think
he's came up limp a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there was some expectation that he could come in here, be a fullback, be a John Kuhn in a Green Bay offense that Mike McCarthy used.
They really don't. They really don't.
Well, because they don't have one.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't tried to see if he can be one.
They haven't tried to see if he can block somebody.
He hasn't lined up and played any fullback. He just played I-back.
He just a one-back runner. Okay, I'm going to say this about Mozzie Smith. Okay? Mozzie Smith's taking a lot of heat right now, and there's some plays that Mozzie Smith actually needs to be much better at. I think the problem with Mozzie Smith is when you watch him on tape, Mozzie Smith played in a Michigan system where he was a read and then react type of a player at Michigan. And they're asking him to react and then read. And I think he gets caught in between techniques in the way he plays. When Mozzie Smith doesn't move his feet, I think he gets in trouble. You know, he gets stationary, and when he's not moving, that's when when he's stationary, blockers find a way to get on him, and then they could turn on him. And that's the problem for him is he's got to do a better job of staying active. Hands, feet, all together, keep it moving, don't stop. When you stop, you're going to get blocked. And I think, like I said, he needs to find a way. Always when you watch, he's a tick late off the ball, and I think that's his Michigan background. I think it's that read and then react type of a scheme he plays in. They got to get that out of him. But they're trying to do that. There's times where he absolutely looks good at it, but like I say, when his feet stop, he gets in trouble.
You've seen the reaction time be much quicker, though?
Yeah, that's the thing. There are times when he tends to get like a little tired. And then all of a sudden, it's like, he gets blocked, and he realizes, oh damn, I messed that one up. Got it, And then the next play, you see him actually doing what he needs to do. I think he's caught in between techniques right now myself.
Okay,
that's his biggest problem right now.
Makes sense.
So yeah, and I'm sorry. Maybe later on I'll get into some more stuff. Gav, you give me some more time on some of these other players. But I know we got to go to break here right now. But I want to. There's some other defensive guys I want to get to as well if we can. Maybe a little bit later on.
Absolutely. There he is, Bryan Broaddus, the former Cowboy scout and NFL executive, breaking down the film. He's already seen the All-22 of the Cowboys game on Saturday against Seattle, and there are some takeaways for you.